This inebriated game continues.
Come on! That didn't just happen.
Welcome to the real winners and losers from NFL Week 13. Yes, the Jets and Seahawks started hitting the eggnog way too early. The Bills and Chiefs clinched playoff spots in dominant and infuriating fashion. Russell Wilson's officially doing unlimited cooking for the Steelers. The Eagles cannibalized their biggest bird threat, and the Colts emerged as the only legit bubble team in the AFC. Before I reveal all of Week 13's real winners and losers, including the Thanksgiving chaos, we have the Blop 10 plays. 10 plays not even Discoverer of America, Jesus Christ, is thankful for. Blop 10, David Montgomery takes the carrot. Nothing I say here will make this any funnier. Blop 9, Mike McCarthy leaves Deuce Vaughn hanging. Now I know why Deuce only has 11 carries on the season. Mike McCarthy doesn't even know he's still on the team. Deuce is now second all-time behind only Tom Brady for best left hanging moments. Blop 8, Julius nearly had his chestnut ripped right off his neck. If you're wondering about the great field position the Titans had after that penalty, you must be new to the NFL. That was not flagged for a face mask. Instead, Tennessee was penalized for an illegal block in the back. I got a copy for you, Tennessee. Fuck the refs, which is available at Benchwarmer shop. Our Black Friday sale ends at midnight tonight, Monday, Cyber Monday. You have until midnight. Code DevilMagic gets you 30% off everything at Benchwarmer shop. Blop 7, Mike Tomlin is now pro locker room live streams. This has to be killing Antonio Brown. Mike deserves to dance after he led the Steelers to their 21st consecutive winning season. Just like he deserves to tell Broderick Jones to shut up.
Oh, man, you Mike, don't shut up. Oh, you shut your ass up. Let's go.
Blop 6, Mac Hollins showed up to the game walking barefoot through the snow. I gotta credit Hollins here because walking barefoot in a blizzard is only the second weirdest thing he's doing. Blop 5, Lamar Jackson kicks Isaiah Rodgers right in the face, which makes Lamar Jackson the most accurate kicker on the Ravens roster. Blop 4, Lad McConkey, channeling Justin Herbert's ball security form from last week. But now we know there is a serious flaw in running while looking this stupid. Fumbling while holding the ball like this is like becoming obese and dying of a heart attack while on that David Montgomery diet. Blop 3, Jameson Williams throws the football and blops Tyreek Stevenson right in the face. This did draw a penalty, and Lions receivers coach Antoine Randall L. became all of our angry fathers when they realized we're the reason Mom was in a bad mood that day. Blop 2. Jameis Winston throwing 2 pick sixes in his fall to the Broncos 41-32. 2 pick sixes. Jameis almost had 500 passing yards. Jerry Jeudy would have gotten the revenge dagger, but I already did this video. I will recap this entire game tomorrow in the new best game ever where Jeudy will get the dagger, so come back. But thank you, Jameis. Thank you so much. Flop 1, the 49ers. Nothing was going right for the 49ers on Sunday Night Football. And then Kyle Juszczyk fumbled, blocked the ball on the goal line to start the second half. And that's a Taylor wrap on the 49ers season. And that's a wrap on my career after that pun. The 49ers, though, are also my blop 0. If this throw isn't a blop, then I don't know why I invented this shit. That happened to me in 8th grade, that same play, when I played quarterback, and it still haunts me. There's no recovering from that. The 49ers season, it's over. McCaffrey left with a knee injury, and they blopped all over the field in their 35-10 defeat. Which brings me to taker of the crown, our winning king, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who clinched the AFC East on December 1st. Josh Allen earned the triple crown with the passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. One of just 3 kings to do that in the last 20 years. Ray Davis rushed for a TD, and the fastest American on ice is no longer Jordan Stolz. No, it's James Cook, who hit a speed of 21.8 miles per hour. His fastest run came on the same ground the 49ers couldn't even fucking stand up on. And I really thought that this would be the most impressive play of the game, but then Amari Cooper and Josh Allen took a play that should have been a disaster and turned it into quite possibly the coolest touchdown of the year. A thoroughly enjoyable touchdown. Amari just making this catch is crazy, but then to pitch it back to Josh while being gang tackled is literally the reason I watch games that are blowouts. You just never know what's going to happen in the NFL. Josh Allen completed a pass and recorded a receiving touchdown without a reception, all on the same play. Impossible, you say? Not for MVP frontrunner Josh Allen, or anyone who catches a lateral. And your moment of zen? Sean McDermott making a snow angel. And after that, Damar Hamlin came over and said, you know what, Sean? That's actually not what angels look like. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We are about 300 subs away from hitting 666. The only way we can combat that Kansas City devil magic is for me to get to 666,000 subs and then stay there. Winning gobble gobble jive turkeys.
Gobble, gobble, gobble turkey from Jive Turkey Gobblers, you know, it's
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Thanksgiving reminded us all to be wary of evil forces. There's no other way to explain the way the Bears and Raiders lost on the holiday and on the ensuing Commerce Day. I do find it fitting, though, that Matt Eberflus showed us how it feels to have something that's yours ripped away from you in horrifying fashion. Exactly what Thanksgiving actually represents. And even more fitting, the Chiefs show us what their revenge will look like one day when they reclaim this land from the pirates who stole it from them. Now, for the first time this season, the Bed Shitters Award will be shared by the Bears and Raiders. Yes, actually, you know what? The Couch Shitter Award, because everyone knows you fall asleep on the couch after a big Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, Bears receiver DJ Moore must watch this show because after the game he said,
We just shit the bed.
I honestly don't know which ending is more disgusting. I think I'm leaning towards the Raiders game because, well, I broke down the Bears ending here already, and while this sequence from Caleb and Matt Eberflus is unforgivable.
No one touched him.
Call your timeout, Matt.
Zadarius Smith.
Call a timeout.
They have a light box.
You still got time for a timeout.
Clock is running
You can call your timeout now.
with 15 seconds.
You can still call your timeout.
3rd and 26.
You can still
One timeout left.
call the timeout.
Just
You
didn't do it.
better hurry.
Top.
Oh,
Oh, this is
Game, no.
disaster in the making here.
Fuck, what are you doing?
Incomplete, and the game is over.
But I lean to the Raiders because I also think Bears fans are genuinely happy it happened and that this forced the team to move on from Matt Eberflus after reports emerged that the Bears players essentially revolted in the locker room after the game.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout.
What the Bears should have done, throw a quick pass to the sideline, is what the Raiders wanted to do in a similar situation. So they have earned the unhappy ending this week because they blew this shit twice. It started with Daniel Carlson hitting the turf before attempting this long lead-taking field goal with a little over 2 minutes left in the game. That's a massive gaffe considering Chiefs kicker Matthew Wright was signed this last week to fill in for injured backup kicker Spencer Schrader, who was a cool 4 of 5 on the game. But the Raiders defense did the impossible and they held KC to a 3-and-out. Max Crosby was a game wrecker despite being held pretty much every play. The Chiefs are also allowed to spear engaged defenders in the back. Couple flags could have been thrown there, but since it's the Devil Magics, they don't draw one. They got the ball back though for AOC and Brock Bowers. Brock had 10 receptions for a $140 and a touchdown on the day. He should be in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation, but he plays for a bad team who can't win games, and since he looks like he's 40, nobody thinks he's actually a fucking rookie. The Raiders became the first team in the last 24 years and probably ever to turn the ball over within field goal range, trailing by just 1 to 2 points in the final 30 seconds. The entire NFL world wants to blame the officials for this ending, and I shall not stop you. Instead, I will profit you. Fuck the Refs coffee, always available at benchwarmershop.com. It's my coffee and it's amazing. Losing controversy? The Raiders. Those Raiders thinking they stood a chance against the refs in the final 2 minutes of a Chiefs game. First time against the Chiefs, Raiders? It's hard for me to blame the refs, though, when the Raiders were the team who, snapped the ball when Aiden O'Connell wasn't ready for it. If you blop a snap there, you deserve to lose. If you're Antonio Pierce, who knows you are the worst team in the NFL, his words.
Best team in football against the worst team in football.
Why run one more play for a few extra yards instead of run the clock down? Who knows? What I will say is when this ref throws the flag and runs onto the field, that's an action of the play being blown dead, which is why we all thought a false start was about to be called. Instead, the refs go with illegal shift, which meant Kansas City got to keep the ball that they recovered and dine with Satan for free once again. Meanwhile, the Chiefs and Lions both moved to 11-1, and both teams know they were lucky as hell to walk off the field with the victory this last week. The Lions' domination in the first half, though, was a masterclass. Detroit had more first downs than the Bears had run offensive plays. Chicago ended the half with 2 first downs, but one was due to defensive holding. Shabuzi was on the field longer for his halftime show than the Bears offense. And even when shit didn't work for Detroit, it was magnificent. Penei Sewell gave us the greatest 2-yard loss in NFL history. This trick play had everything. A Penei Sewell stiff arm, an offensive lineman getting ready for a pass attempt, and our winning stat, Penei Sewell has now taken more sacks this season than he's allowed. The only way this play is better is if I drop Tony Romo singing The Lion King underneath it.
Gets me every time.
Every time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Winning running back? That's going to Rico Dowdle. Not only did Rico become the Cowboys' first 100-yard rusher since DeMarco Murray, or so it felt, he helped Dallas to their 2nd win in a row. That was also the Cowboys' first home win of the season, but the most shocking part, Uncle Rico ripped the first 20-yard run of the season for the Cowboys. Guys, it's week 13, and that is the Cowboys' first 20-yard rush. The Cowboys' defense sacked Drew Lock 6 times. Micah Parsons was all over the place, but my winning individual effort goes to DeMarvion Overshown, who overshone all of his abilities on this single play. He lit up the running back, tipped the pass, intercepted it, and scored the touchdown. That might be one of the best individual efforts of the entire season. Winning narrative? The Miami Dolphins, who can't win in cold weather or beat playoff teams.
We're excited to go down there to Green Bay and, show everybody on primetime what we can do.
Tua trying to warm it up and heat up. Short for Tyreek Hill.
I'm excited to kill narratives, so let's go.
Tua throws too high. Had a chance.
That narrative stays true, which makes the Dolphins losers. Jordan Love had a flawless first half. Tua was solid and a bit lucky in the second half, but the thing that stood out to me in this game was the Packers' front 7. They get my winning run defense. They held Miami to just 39 rushing yards, forcing them to basically abandon it. Devin Achane was decent in the passing game, but he and Mostert couldn't get anything going on the ground. The Dolphins' offense just can't work without that. Plus, Green Bay dropped Tua 5 times. 5 sacks. The Packers are 4-1 since bringing in Robert Saleh. The Jets are 1-5, and there might just be something to this improving Green Bay defensive unit. Also, RIP to this kid who has been sent to boarding school after his mom saw this shit. Winning wide receiver? Well, that's going to a man on a losing team. Nick Westbrook-Akine finished the day with 61 yards on 3 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Alone, that's not too crazy, but on the season, Westbrook has 20 receptions and 8 touchdowns. That's a 40% touchdown rate on his receptions. I'm not sure if this will continue. Tennessee is bad enough that there's a chance, but let's all appreciate this one beautiful moment in football time. I know Will Levis is. Also, Levis low-key cooked in this game. He definitely gets my FDR of the week for this coinage. After the Commanders rushed to a 14-0 lead behind the legs of Brian Robinson, the Titans fumbled the ball away, leading to the Commanders' 3rd touchdown. This one, very scary for the Titans, and on the ensuing kick return, the Titans fumbled the ball right back to Washington. But it paled in comparison to what was happening in the Jets-Seahawks game in terms of special teams gaffes. Washington was up 28-0 with 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Jaden Daniels looked more like himself coming off a bye, 25 of 30 plus a nice shifty rushing TD. Brian Robinson finished averaging 6.4 yards per carry with that TD and 103 rushing yards. Everything seems to work when Robinson is toting the rock well for Washington. A commanding 42-19 win, and Jaden Daniels catapulted himself right back atop the Rookie of the Year convo. The drunkest game, Seahawks-Jets.
This inebriated game continues halfway through the second quarter.
Look, if the announcer refers to the game as being inebriated, they may actually fail a field sobriety test. Now, I'm not sure the last time I witnessed so many consecutive mistakes made in a football game by both teams. After Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams hooked up for just their second touchdown as Jets on the season, all hell broke loose, starting with Leonard Williams blocking the Jets' PAT, which makes this next award so bizarre. Losing special teams? Seattle, down 6. The Seahawks returner D. Williams fumbled during the return, which led to the Jets' second touchdown of the day, and I swear to Christ, the Seahawks fumbled the kick return again on the next play. Fortunately, they recovered it. But wait, there's more, because Geno Smith ended up leading a TD drive despite those fumbles. Seattle then allowed Jets returner Kene Nwangwu to return it 99 yards for a touchdown. But wait, there's more. This isn't infomercial bullshit. Holy fuck, you can't make it up, guys. Seattle. After that, watched Laviska Shenault fumble another kick return right back to the Jets. That's 3 special teams fumbles and a special teams touchdown given up, all in about a 10-minute window. However, Leonard Williams may have quite literally saved the Seahawks season on one play. After that third fumble, Aaron Rodgers overthrows a wide-open Garrett Wilson, which would have been a touchdown, and on the next play decides to throw a 92-yard pick six to my winning defender, big man Leonard Williams, on this catch and stampede. Instead of a 28-7 lead or 24-7 lead, it's a one-score game. That was the longest thick six in NFL history. Williams also had 2 key sacks, including the one that basically ended the game, and is another former Giant playing electric football somewhere else. He's the first player since 1982 with multiple sacks, a pick six, and a block kick in the same game. I wanted to give Geno Smith the revenge dagger for his big win against his former team, but he helped orchestrate a series of 7 plays on the goal line after a pass interference call where he ultimately took a sack on 4th and goal. 7 tries and you turn it over on downs? What the hell? Now, the Texans barely beat the Jaguars in an important game for the Texans' playoff picture, but all anyone will remember from that game, of course, is the losing cheap shot inflicted by Azeez Al-Shaair. Rarely will you hear me say this. An ejection for Azeez isn't enough of a punishment. He should be suspended 1 game for every inch of hair on Trevor Lawrence's beautiful head. Now, I made an entire video about this play, but I'd be mildly concerned if I'm the Texans that Mac Jones came in and made this a game. My losing what if? What if Trevor Lawrence and McCorkle Jones threw a good ball to the always open Brian Thomas on either of these plays? Losing backfield? That goes to the Vikings. Aaron Jones fumbled again. That's his 3rd fumble in 3 straight games. But, dear God, Aaron Jones, Sam Darnold, and Cam Akers all finished with exactly 22 rushing yards. Hell, even Ty Chandler had 2 carries for 2 yards, 22. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call the all-22. Give me a raise, YouTube. Give me a raise. Trey McBride might be the new Julio Jones. He's got 73 receptions this season and not a single touchdown. I mean, Vikings tight end Johnny Munt has more touchdowns this year than Trey McBride on just 18 receptions. Ugly win for Minnesota, but Sam Darnold was better than Kyler Murray, throwing 2 TDs to Kyler's 2 picks as he moved Minnesota to a 10-2 record. Aaron Jones did revenge dagger his own fumble with a lead-taking touchdown. I think they call that revenge seppuku. Losing draft, the Ron Rivera Commanders. Washington released first-round corner Emmanuel Forbes this week. The corner taking 1 pick after him, Christian Gonzalez, had a great interception in this game. The Colts kept their wild card dreams alive with a win in this game. Anthony Richardson does everything, good and bad. He does it all, but he was clutch. My winning clutch in tossing a touchdown to Alex Pierce on 4th and goal with just 12 seconds left in the game. Indy went for 2, and Richardson takes it himself on a QB option for the win. And my winning quarterback this week? None other than Danger Russell Wilson. In power rankings, I said I didn't trust Russ. And to make me look stupid for about the 100th time, Russ went out and had one of his best passing days in roughly the last 7 years. His one miscue was throwing a pick 6 early to Cam Taylor-Britt. Cam may have gotten handsy and wrestled George Pickens to the ground, but I like the no call since that's in the 5-yard area where you're allowed to make contact. Maybe the most shocking part of Russ's performance, this win over Cincy, who was in the playoff race, helped the Broncos more than he did at any point as their quarterback. Russ fired off 261 passing yards between the numbers, which is the most he's had in his entire career. Is this an outlier against a terrible Bengals defense that's been scorched by passers all season? I don't care. Russ cooked. Losing quarterback, Kirk Cousins. We're used to Kirk putting up great numbers in a losing effort, but he was the main reason the Falcons couldn't figure out LA. Kirk threw 4 critical interceptions, including one that got returned 62 yards for a touchdown. Another in the end zone that erased a chance to take the lead. And the nail in the coffin at the very end. A coffin Kirk completely assembled all by himself. One he sanded, stained, and glossed. He Daniel-soned that shit, waxing on and waxing off. He had a passer rating of 40, and his 0 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions over the last 3 games. The Achilles special is being shared right now by Cousins and Aaron Rodgers, who both threw pick 6s this week, proving that tearing your Achilles as a 35-plus-year-old quarterback is not a good thing. We were on the fence about it, but the science is indisputable. Although I'm sure Aaron Rodgers will try and dispute it. My losing stat? Any Chargers receiver not named Ladd. Ladd finished with 117 yards. Roughly 80% of all of Herbert's total passing yards. The next leading receiver was Quentin Johnston with 12. Kirk Cousins could have won this game by throwing just one less terrible pass. The Joe Burrow Award this week, which goes to a player no matter what he does, his team loses, is Adam Thielen. Not only did Adam Thielen get robbed of one of the best touchdowns of the weekend, yes, the fuck the refs took this away from him. Benchwarmershop.com, 30% off through midnight, code DevilMagic. That's a touchdown catch in my book, but Thielen also caught the touchdown that took the game into overtime, just so he could be robbed by one of his own teammates in overtime. Tampa missed a field goal on their first possession in OT. Thielen then made an insane catch to get the Panthers within striking distance, but one play after that grab, Chuba Hubbard had the ball wrestled away from him, recovered by the Bucs. After a throw to Mike Evans and a long run from Rachaad White, it was Tampa who successfully snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. The Bucs and Baker Mayfield also get this week's revenge dagger for beating their former offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, who's actually done a really damn good job recently. Not good enough to beat the Bucs or the Chiefs, but damn good. Tampa also benefited from an Atlanta loss, so they're now just a game behind the Falcons in the godforsaken NFC South. Normally, Bucky Irvin's 185 total yards and a TD would have been good enough for the winning running back, but I felt sorry for Dallas, who may only get that 120-yard rush all season. Our weekly white corner tracker, did a white corner get an interception? No, but Cooper DeJean made a big-time tackle on Derrick Henry on 3rd down. I think King Henry will stick with drinking Cabernet because his first experience with exciting whites resulted in a terrible hangover. Winning game manager is going to Jalen Hurts, who only threw the ball 19 times against Baltimore, and that's all he had to do to get the Eagles' 8th straight win of the season. He threw 1 TD and was pushed for another score in the victory, but the story of the day was once again running back Saquon Barkley, who may have officially dethroned the king on Sunday. Barkley rushed for 25 more yards than Derrick Henry and now extends his lead as the league leader in total rushing yards ahead of Henry despite playing in 1 fewer game. The Eagles may also have luck on their side because they haven't lost a single one of their 5 fumbles this season. The Ravens are on the opposite. They might be in bad luck territory, specifically when referring to feet. It started with Isaiah Likely's toe week 1 and has been sexually transmitted to Justin Tucker's toe via Rex Ryan's mouth probably. Tucker doinked a PAT, a disgusting insult to this ridiculous grown man catch by Mark Andrews in the end zone. And then Tucker missed 2 field goals as well. That's 7 points, enough to swing this game. Tucker's misses this season tally up to 22 total points, which is the exact amount of points the Ravens have been outscored in their losses combined. Tucker dipped his toes in the devil magic last season, and he has yet to recover. Speaking of devil magic, my only Mahomes award is going to Joe Burrow, who slides through the pocket here to avoid a sack and jump throw a touchdown to Jamar Chase. Unfortunately for Joe Shiesty, the Bengals are an embarrassing statistical anomaly this season. They scored 38 points but lost because they gave up 44. This season, any NFL team who scores at least 30 points has an overall record of 79-7. The Bengals account for 4 of those losses. Teams that have scored 38 points this season are 21-0, except for the Bengals, who are fucking 1-2. We are watching history happen, guys. Winning streak, Mike Tomlin, has now officially secured a non-losing season for the 18th straight year, meaning that streak is now legal. He can do it. He can do it if he wants.
Somebody say, barely legal?
No, get the fuck out of here, Bill. We didn't. I don't think we give Tomlin quite enough credit for just how impressive that is. And if that's not good enough, the Steelers have won 7 straight regular season games as underdogs, which is just 1 shy of the NFL record. Speaking of underdogs, if you want to support this channel, you can do it at Underdog with my code, That's Good. Sign up with the code or the QR code. We just hit 3,800 signups on the season, which means we're 6,200 away from hitting 10,000 signups, which means Underdog will have to pay me $1 million. I love working with Underdog. Their daily fantasy is the best, in my opinion, of any of the apps out there. So if you want to play that or any of their pick'em games, do so with my code, That's Good.
Come on!
Losing Riz. The Riz is worn off for the Saints. Holy shit, though. I can't think of a player I'd like to tackle less than Braden Fisk with a full head of steam. Fisk's powerful scoop and score. I don't even want to call it a thick 6 because he might hear me.
And I'm sure he's already pissed off it didn't count because it was a forward pass.
The Rams' offense was mostly held in check. However, Demarcus Robinson did catch his 6th touchdown of the season. Unlike Nick Westbrook-Akine, Robinson has 26 receptions on the year, so he's spending less overall time in the end zone. The Rams are now a game back from Seattle in the West, which should make for a great Week 18 matchup between those 2 teams. Thanks for watching. That's Good Sports. Again, subscribe here so we can get to 666 subscribers. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for the Broncos' new best or new worst recap. Who knows?